to allow you to like put the follow buttons below your stream still worked.
Follow button while you stream?
So you can, with FrankerFace Z, you can set it up that you can have other channels' follow buttons under your stream.
Oh, okay. Oh, so like if you're multicasting, then
yeah,
you can put others. I see what you mean. Yeah.
So like when we would do the D&D stream, that's what I would do. I'd have them under my stream. It was really, really nice. It's just a nice way to like simply be able to do that kind of thing instead of like having to link somebody's channel all the time.
Yeah, that's a really interesting idea. I honestly haven't really gotten into the nitty gritty of like FrankerFace or BTTV.
Right.
Obviously.
Yeah, I mean it does mess with some of like it goes really under the hood with what Twitch is doing.
That. Yeah,
so it is totally understandable. I'm curious like what Twitch's thought is around services like that.
It depends on what team you talk to. I think like most teams are, we're fine with it. We wish we could. Some teams wish we can support them more. Some really just don't care. And then others like if you affect the design a lot, I guess like BTTV was kind of notorious for that. I actually had I was really railing against BTTV when I started working at Twitch because I just hated how they one person could like completely take our brand and literally turn it upside down. I mean the very fact that they existed meant like it pressured us to do some kind of dark mode, and eventually we will get to a point where we have enough bandwidth to do a full dark mode. Like we know it's wanted even within people in the company, but like we want to be able to control that destiny, not to have somebody outside the company push that out, and then it's like, oh, here's dark mode Twitch. Oh, look, it's upside down glitch. This is our brand, and they're toying with it. That's what I used to think. I mean, now it's just like, yeah, if they want to take the time to do that, it's fine. I'd still like a native dark mode.
Yeah, I'm sure a lot of
people
people
myself than for the rest of the users. It's just a really, really, really tough project.
I'm sure.
We're literally doubling our work for every feature we design.
Oh yeah,
we'll have to design it into because
you have to make sure that it looks good in both.
Yep.
And that coloring scheme has to be, well,
it's interesting. It's interesting, definitely.
Now, I wonder what that does in terms of, because I know for like say copyright on a logo, it's very, very particular. I wonder if there would have to be a separate one if there was something to go along with like a dark mode version of the logo.
I mean, it could be a brand color.
Yeah, I was just like thinking out loud there.
Yeah, we definitely have brand colors for dark mode things. We had to do that when we created theater mode, so we have those already. It's just a matter of we're actually trying to redo a lot of the styles on the site. It's taking a long time, of course, but we're actively working on it.
Design stuff is so interesting.
It's fun, man. It's fun and it's aggravating at the same time.
I'm sure. But, I mean, it's always, you gotta have something that you're working on, or else you just get stagnant.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And there's constantly improvements that have to be made, so. It's fun and time-consuming and aggravating all at the same time.
Yes, that's definitely what it is.
It's a nice problem to have, I think.
Yeah. I would agree with that most times, but I guess the last month and since before TwitchCon, I've been double booked on a couple of projects, and it's been
stressful.
Quite stressful.
Right, and then you want to balance in obviously the relationship with your wife, and then streaming and all that other wonderful stuff.
Yep. So somehow I'm fitting all of this stuff in.
It's because you're awesome at what you do, and you're obviously a very good husband, and you're a fantastic streamer, so it all manages to work out. And priorities are a big part of it as well, like making sure that you are very carefully setting the priorities for each one and making sure that you have a clear hierarchy in terms of what importance is to you. Which is tough. It is very hard to establish that and stick to it.
Oh yeah, definitely. The sticking to it piece is nuts.
See, I came back to Realtalk.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that happened. And that's something that, like, to a lesser degree, I've had to try and do, you know, between, you know, working 40 to 50 hours a week at my job and trying to maintain a social life outside of Twitch, and even a social life within Twitch.
Yeah.
You know, I can't be in all the streams that I want to be in and still do everything that I want to do.
Yeah.
Like, I've noticed that recently a lot with Kung Fu's channel. Like, I haven't been around that one as much as I'd like to be. I used to be around that one a whole lot more.
Yep.
But I haven't had the time to.
You
And part of
kind of find the stream that like makes you most comfortable while you're not able to pay attention to it.
Right.
Like that's what during the 168-hour marathon. It's like that's what both Fi-Fi and Tushi were for me. Like.
And see, for me, it was a little bit different for Fi-Fi. Because for Fi-Fi's, I had to be paying attention to his chat. Because as a mod for Fi-Fi, I was like, okay, I need to pay attention to what's going on here because he's playing so many games that aren't normally played on his channel that the community is changing so rapidly.
Man, the Mario Maker stuff must have
Yeah.
been interesting.
Oh my god.
That was interesting for us as well in Sam's channel.
Because they did the
the Wobbler event.
Yeah, the Wobbler event. And I think I love the Mario Maker community because they're so active and they're so passionate about their game. But there's definitely a subset of that community that can be really, really bad.
Yes.
I subtweeted about that regarding the Undertale community, and like I find it's like very much the same. Is that you have the people that are really passionate about it, and the people who are passionate about it to like blindly passionate about it. Like you don't know if they're being offensive or not.
Right.
It's like, oh, you know, why the fuck would you hate Pascal? I'm like, okay. It's like people are entitled to their opinion. I'm like, are you trolling or not? It's like it's text, right? So
you can't tell.
You can't tell at all. No, you can't.
And
it's like you're a horrible person for you know this genocide run. It's like, my God, I love watching genocide runs because they're really challenging for people. But man, the chats.
I don't know about chats.
I know, like,
man,
for T-Rex specifically, he does not want to play the game again. He played through it once, does not want to do it again, because he got so emotionally invested by all the different characters that he doesn't want to reset. He got really into the world.
So, here's the thing that I have noticed, because I'm watching currently a person named Filthy Crow stream this game. He just restarted, and every single character remembers your choices.
Mm-hmm.
And that it literally creates a whole entire different environment. You know?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's an amazing game in that way. It's so well built. Like it's things that you would expect games these days to not do. It does.
Oh yeah.
Like, I mean the alternate endings after you do a genocide run. That when you finish a genocide run, it changes the game forever.
Yeah.
I'm curious about this. I need to see a genocide run. I've only seen pacifist runs.
It changes the ending sequences.
And I think having that balance as a streamer as to like these are games that I really enjoy playing versus these are games that are good for my community is really tough as well. It goes back a little bit to your discussion that you're having on your channel, Brian, which was like, what is the brand? You know, what do I want to have identified as my brand as a streamer?
Yep.
And I think that very much is what games do I play as well. Because that is setting up the community that people are going to be coming into.
Yep, definitely.
It's just it's interesting how when it's a job for you, how much that is you have to take into consideration. I mean, for me, it's not as important because this isn't my job. This is something I do for fun. I'm not as worried about, okay, I'm trying to grow. I'm trying to make sure that I can maintain a viewership, so on and so forth. If it got to that point, that would be a great problem to have. But that's not something I'm really concerned about at this point.
Yeah, agreed.
But, you know, even just as someone who is trying to keep an eye out for streamers that I'm friends with who that is their job. Is like, all right, you guys have to be considering a whole nother set of considerations. Like even like commercial breaks. One of the things that Fi-Fi's always prided himself in is the fact that he doesn't run that many commercials. And I know the Wobblers in general are that way. They don't like to run commercials that much.
Yep.
But at the same time, that's a revenue stream.
Yep.
That's something you have to do at times. Now, maintaining a balance is really crucial. And I think the way that the Wobblers and a lot of people do it that's really nice is that they only do it when they are literally not at their computer streaming. If they're on a break, walking around, getting food, whatever, they'll run commercials. But if they're at their webcam or whatever, if they're at their stream, they are not running commercials, which I think is great.
Yeah,
which is not true for other people. Like I'm most familiar with the Destiny directory. It's not true for all Destiny streamers.
Yeah, it definitely is not the case. Having a much. Yeah, being a mod in some of the bigger channels can feel like a job at times, but at the same time, you're a volunteer, for lack of a better phrase.
Yep.
And you are someone that is there because you have a passion for that community. You have a desire to help that streamer and that community grow and prosper. Be it the game, be it the streamer himself, or be it the community around, Twitch in general. You, as a mod, are there to help maintain that and help it grow and foster that mentality. And that's what I think is really unique. Really interesting when I first started watching Fi-Fi's chat, because Fi-Fi was like the first chat that I was really active in.
Mm-hmm.
It was the mods that were there were people that I enjoyed talking to. It wasn't even so much the fact that Fi-Fi was an entertaining streamer, but people like Liz, who just said poop in my chat because she's mature like that. She and others were just so welcoming. What's up, Sandman? And made it a comfortable place to hang out. And made me want to come back and interact with that community even more.
I want to touch on something that you were saying before.
Yeah.
On, mods being volunteers. I've definitely been in streams where mods forget that. Where mods don't take that step back when things get bad or like they're getting exhausted, that they will not take a step back and will basically put themselves through hell modding streams. And I don't think that's necessarily the right thing to do, because you are a volunteer.
Yeah, and at that point, it's on the streamer to also recognize that, hey, I have a mod who is really working hard and perhaps overworking themselves. Maybe I need to look into what the rest of my modding group is doing and figure out, okay, what changes do I have to make there?
Mm-hmm.
And that's very important, and it is incredibly difficult to make that call, I would say.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, I only have 4 mods.
Mm-hmm.
Goat, who's in the chat right now, Grace, who was spamming last night.
Yeah, it's Grace. Oh god.
Grace is amazing. Mason, who now goes by Dave, and Naret, who's been going through a lot. And it's like I like hand chose each of them, and they all have definitely like encouraged chat in their own ways, and mod in their own ways. But like, I'm very picky.
Yeah, no, as you should be.
Because I'm very, very picky with my mods.
And when it comes to having moderators in a channel, I think it's very important to be, because they are, even more so sometimes than the streamer themselves, they are a very public face of the channel. There are more of them than there are of you.
Yep.
And in some other streams, there are even more mods than that. Fi-Fi has however many mods that he has. And the sword can be intimidating at times. Like, seeing too many swords in a chat can be very intimidating.
Oh yeah. mod walls.
Yeah, exactly.
Mod wall.
That is definitely a
Mod
thing.
wall.
It used to be a very big problem in Sam's chat.
Really?
But thankfully for Sam, he started growing a lot more, so he started pulling more viewers.
Right.
And the mods set up their mod Discord, so if a lot of it was just mods talking back and forth to each other, which happens now in the various Discord and
Yeah,
we use to set
and that I think has been something that's been very good as well. Is like before, it being on Skype and now being on Discord. I think that kind of setup is very, very good.
Yeah, agreed. Thank you,
Right.
Sam, man. I'd like to think so.
Yeah, no, I mean, he does have fantastic mods, and a lot of the mods in those bigger channels are also fantastic. Five Eyes, as I said, there are great mods there. I would say Sam's mods are absolutely fantastic. Obviously.
Yeah, that JVeth guy, he doesn't.
Well, even that JVeth guy. That JVeth guy.
JVeth.
Well, but at the same time,
he
like.
slacked off at work once.
Hey,
Yeah, you saw him. Now you're getting all these memories of that JVeth guy
Yeah.
who you met but never.
Who was watching SGDQ instead of working.
Or the project never got done.
I mean, I worked remote for a while too, so.
There you go. That's some
So
sheep
sleeping
loose.
at home.
No, but like, I forget what the point is. I was doing. Oh, Sam's mods. They again made Sam's chat a very welcoming place to hang out. And the fact that I was able to make a friendship with one of the mods, and that has spread. Like, through you, JVeth, I've gotten to know BNP, Easy,
And easy.
Fino. Like, I wouldn't really get to know these people if I hadn't, started talking to you and you had reached out and been like, hey, yeah, this is somebody that I get along with. So it's really interesting because that doesn't happen in a lot of chats, I feel.
No,
It happens in some very specific ones, but not a lot. And it's fun when it does, because you're like, hey, this is the community as a whole growing. Can you imagine managing a chat that has over 8K viewers? Yeah, Liz can.
Nah.
How's that Whitwick's chat?
Oh God.
Oh,
Oh,
jeez.
How do you get the touch of malice? That's a quest, right? And then
It
God
is.
quest.
The Touch of Malice, you have to get 45 calcified fragments.
raid.
And then do a whole lot of other stuff that is really annoying.
So you gotta do the raid, civil strikes, and all the get those 45 calcified fragments.
Yeah. I just got 45 calcified fragments. So
I
I'm
need
actually-
5 more and then I'm done. Then I just gotta do the 2 strikes.
Oh, I think I have to do one of those strikes.
Yeah, you gotta do the strike with the Undying Mind if you haven't done that one, where you gotta kill the Taken.
No, I did that.
Taken Knight.
I did that one.
Then the other one's the Echo on Mars, the one that you guys hate.
The one that I spent 3 hours on.
Yes, and then RSS got good RNG on the drop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That one. It's that one. You have to get him down to a certain health. Taken Wizard will appear. And
He had
need to kill that
9K
Taken
people?
Wizard.
Oh, Jesus. Megan, that's awful. For a chat that is normally not that large, that is huge.
That's
What?
just yeah.
Yep.
That's
Isaac, Goth, and Broman both have been getting that high recently.
Yeah. It's been insane.
God,
Broman's
during
growth.
the sheesh, yeah, Broman's growth, and then just seeing Goth at the during the
The Bungie reveals.
King's Fall, yeah.
Oh yeah, and the raids.
The raids were like what? He had like 24.
I think
one
he
point?
hit 32 at one point.
I was about to
32
say,
at one point?
he had 30 at some point, yeah.
Yeah, he was the top. He was the at the beginning of the hard mode. He had, I want to say, 40. He was the most watched stream on Twitch for a little bit.
High Priest, Ravenous Heart is inside the,
Ravenous Heart is from the end of the raid.
yeah. I don't remember which one it was.
Yeah,
Oh,
Ravenous
so if
Heart.
you haven't beat Oryx yet, then you won't get that, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Who are the people I hear?
I am the RSS feed, or RSS, simply.
I'm the I'm the J.
The JVeth.
I'm JVeth or Phoenix Ignition in game.
And
Well,
I'm
and-
simply
Go ahead.
DeadFox.
DeadFox29.
Yeah.
The deadest of hearts.
Yep, if you want to add my 29 handle to it. Don't know why. Oh, yeah, now I remember. I got stuck. Every single Dead Fox was taken except 29.
Yeah.
That was good to sit through.
The highest that I've been an active mod in, I think Fi-Fi at one point was at 3 or 4K, and that was a lot.
I think it was 4K. I was in there at one point.
Like, and it's been also interesting. There was one time that Fi-Fi did a 24-hour marathon. Yeah, I think he was working on his Splatoon speedruns at the time. And there just wasn't another really active mod in chat. Like, ones were coming and going, but I was there because I had the day off, and I was like, all right, yeah, I'll just, be here and I'll help out. And there's a mod in Broman's chat whose name I am blanking on right now. It begins with a D. Why can't I think of his name?
Because of the D.
Yeah, right.
Oh.
Lol. Lewd. But he is very active in Broman's chat in terms of his communication with the chat as a whole. Like, he'll answer questions that Broman doesn't see and is just always around. And
I'm actually looking. Oh, Draconite.
Draconite, thank you.
Ah, yes, yes, him, yes.
Draconite
when you said answers questions in the chat, I'm like, I know this guy. I
yeah,
know.
yeah. Draconite is awesome, and I got to talk to him a bit as well. Just like getting to know him, just by being in Broman's chat, and the way that he handled chat and the way that he had that interaction, I was like, this is I really like how he as a mod is doing this. So how can I apply this in Fi-Fi's chat? And so I started taking that approach in that stream in particular, and chat seemed to respond really well to it. They were, people that were thanking me for answering questions that Fi-Fi wasn't necessarily seeing, things like that. And it was really an interesting change to how I was interacting as a mod with the chat. It was fun. I really liked it.
I would say that's what GOAT is for my channel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's nice to have that person, I think. That the person that is, keeping the conversation going, answering things that aren't necessarily seen, because sometimes Fi-Fi's chat just gets moving so quickly that there's no way that he's going to see it. Just isn't going to happen.
Yep, that's very true.
And Pangas, you don't do much with ban malicious links. Yeah, and that too. Like, I got really good at click bans. I'm very fast.
Yeah, bans.
Curb was getting mad at me last night because I was playing Assassin's Creed, and I was still getting bans on links before he was, like bot bans.
Yeah, Liz, I definitely agree with you. Sil always says that when the King's Fall grades were going on with T-Rex, like, hey, this is going to be a busy thing. Don't be be a little bit looser on bans. Try to steer chat, not try to control chat.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, one thing that I've found works out really well is distracting chat with a question.
Yep.
Like, if chat is being really shitty about something, instead of leveling a ban hammer or, just going absolutely crazy with it, being like, hey chat, what's the movie that you're looking forward to the most in the next month?
Yep.
And getting them completely off topic and just completely side railing it works out really, really well.
That's true.
Because it's keeping people active. It's not having those walls upon walls of, this person has been timed out, this person has been timed out, this person has been timed out. That doesn't look good in my opinion. So having something that distracts.
The message deleted.
Yeah, message deleted. Yeah. Perfect example. It's just like, because that becomes a meme in itself. And it just becomes problematic. So it's just, I don't know. I think there are definitely better ways to do things. I do that stuff with your student. Nice. Well done, Liz. I've just been running around doing, killing things. Do you guys want to go to the tower really quick?
Yeah, sure.
All right.
Yeah. I'm trying to finish off the stupid hand cannon. 80.
Yeah, then people do message deleted, and then I really delete it, and I get mad at them.
Except you can't delete me when I do it.
I can delete you.
In
here, on my channel.
I'm only in your channel. I know I have to fear Avalon in every single channel.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
cannot-
Liz.
you don't have to fear me when you're the broadcaster, when it's your channel.
Yeah.
I cannot.
So I will stay in my channel from now on.
You'll stay in your and then just stay there. Yeah.
Never ban me in my own channel. Except then again, it's like sometimes I do like Twitch staff when they're able to ban me, especially when I've actually posted work stuff inside chat because I was doing something, accidentally hit Control V and didn't realize where my cursor was.
Like, purge me, please.
Literally, I would either say purge, or they'd notice it and purge me immediately
Yeah.
to protect all that information.
And
Yeah, it's being staff. I think I can kind of empathize with what the mod ordeal is, but I can't at the same time. It's like I haven't, since I have power everywhere. It's like I don't use it at all. I really rarely use that unless somebody asks me to, or if I'm banning Nightbot in Jeff Chat. That's the thing.
I need to ask this, Avalon.
Say again?
I need to ask this. Can you move your camera a little bit because your green going? I keep thinking it's crack.
Oh, is it? God damn it!
I thought that was crack on my screen.
I thought that was a crack in your screen.
Yep.
I was in another streamer's channel and the chat got toxic and confusing, and while I, not being a mod, did what I could to shoot that in front of the chat. And that is something that the chat can also definitely help out with. Now, on the other side of that, you want to make sure that, and this is something that there was a little bit of a debate I saw on Twitter a couple days ago about non-mods in a channel trying to
mod
a channel or admonish chat, and that's really tricky because you want the chat and you want your community to have pride in maintaining their community, but at the same time you've chosen the people that are moderators for a very specific reason. And they're the ones that, and this is something that I actively don't do when I'm in another channel. Like, I'll catch myself starting to, I'll start to type something to somebody. I'm like, wait, no, I'm not a moderator here. I really shouldn't do this. This isn't my place. Like, making sure that you don't overstep that bound because you want it to come from a, for lack of a better phrase, official source. Because those are the people that have been trusted by the channel to enforce the standards of the channel.
Well, it kind of brings us. I kind of want to bring this in. It's like the issue that me and you, RSS, were in at one point, in a streamer's chat, where someone in the chat was literally just modding and telling us to ban people at one point.
Yeah.
When we would look at them and like, this isn't a bannable offense.
Yeah, this is like.
Or we were just not fast enough for them.
Yeah.
To do it.
Yeah. That's really.
Actually, the most interesting chat mod has been Crescendo's. Viewers coming from YouTube really don't care what mods have to say. That's a really interesting point as well. That's Chris' question. They want Chris to answer, and they will. That is, I think, a distinct difference between how YouTube functions and how Twitch functions.
Yep.
They want people come to watch a YouTuber stream on Twitch because they are here for that entertainer. They don't care about anything else at that point in time. They're only there for that one person and that one person alone. While when you go to, say, someone who has established themselves entirely on Twitch and doesn't really have a big YouTube, not a big YouTube presence, because there's a lot of people will do both, but that's not where they made their name. I think that you see a lot more of the interaction in both ways. And I personally like, I started out watching YouTube stuff. That's actually how I got into Twitch, was because of Brown Man through Rooster Teeth.
Very nice.
Yeah, and how he started streaming and how he had such a passion for it, and so I would watch his streams, and then from his streams he rated Fi-Fi. Now, I never talked in Brown Man's stream, but I've stocked a ton in Fi-Fi's after that. And that's where the kind of growth came from, and that was like the infection vector into Twitch for me. All right, JVeth, I'm gonna open my exotic. Don't get mad at me.
No,
Nope,
he's not gonna be pissed.
you're not gonna be mad at me.
Oh.
I think
What'd you get?
Fourth Horseman.
for me,
Which I already
getting
had.
to YouTube was all about not YouTube. Twitch was I just want to watch Gassy Mexican live because he was a funny guy. I
Yeah,
want to see
and-
what he was like.
Gassy.
Yeah, he's the one that got me into it, and he's actually technically the first person I ever bought a drink.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I met him at RTX one time, and I had messaged him on Twitter saying, "Hey, if I see you at RTX, I'm buying you a drink." Sure enough, I saw him at RTX. I walked him over. I said, "Hey, I told you I was going to buy you a drink." He said, "Cool." We walked over to one of the concessions, bought him a drink, and we just talked for a little while.
Nice.
And that's awesome. Like he had that desire to. He's like, all right, yeah, this is somebody that like. He may have talked with you a little bit in the channel. Like he may have recognized your name. So you found Twitch watching Fi-Fi on SRL. Nice.
And then after that, I just basically somehow went into a speedrunning community and met all you guys.
Yeah.
But then again, I also have to thank Ray for that because he rated Fi-Fi.
Yeah, and that right there is another part of the Twitch community that's just incredible. Like the fact that, you are done with a stream. You've done your part, your community has been there and has been active and has been awesome, and you want to share that with another person that you find entertaining and you think deserves attention. Like that, who does that kind of thing? That's not something you see in other industries.
Yep.
And I think that right there is a really, really important part of Twitch as a whole. And the fact that they built in the host feature when that came out, that was huge.
Oh, yeah.
The hosting feature is easily one of the best things that Twitch has done for its own community in, past couple of years. It was very, very intelligent. And I really like it.
I remember I was actually vehemently against that feature when it was in development. I thought
really?
it would cannibalize raids, yeah, because people would, they would host, but then they wouldn't send their people over, and like these are some of the discussions we had, and like I was so into raids, I loved that people were, able to do this themselves. Everybody had their own raid messages, things like that. Good night, Leo. And
Night, Leo.
yeah, then it came out, and I was completely proven wrong by the community. Like the community started embracing it, and then the host bots started coming out, which was interesting. It's an interesting topic for me.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I now love host mode for what it does. Like E3, like those big events, and you want to have a little chat of your own. That's host mode's great for that.
Yes.
So
And
we're trying to build around host mode now, rather than like replace it or do anything of that nature.
I think, and that's shown a lot in the GDQ events for me, because, I'll be at a GDQ, like the last two I've been at, it was after host mode came out. So both Kung Fu and Fi-Fi, who were at that time like the people that I really was modding for, both of them were hosting it, and they both figured out like they can go into that chat and people would be there. They just wanted to have their friends to talk to while the event was going on.
That was a fun time.
Yeah, it was great. It was a place that people could go and they're like, hey, this is a community I love. This is a group of people that I really enjoy. I want to hang out with them during this event that I'm really having a great time with, and
Except
sharing
Bob.
that experience.
Except Bob.
Well, Bob is
Bob
is
let
Bob.
me keep him unbanned. He kept getting pissed off when I had to unban him.
Except Bob.
Bob
Yep.
Newman. Oh, Bob Newman.
Yeah, I kept on banning Bob while they would try banning him.
Yeah, it was a entertaining time. But I think, as a whole, I think that a lot of people have really started to latch on to what they can do to help their friends grow on Twitch as well, which has been really cool to watch.
Mm-hmm.
You've had people who've been like, okay, this is how I can help out. I think a great example for that has been Naspimi. You know, he got a lot of support from Fi-Fi, Kung Fu, Jeff, a whole lot of people who were like, okay, this guy is a great streamer. You know, he has a good base following, and let's get him to a point where he can really hold his own when he's applying for partnership.
Mm-hmm.
And it was interesting when he first applied because he got denied initially because he was being hosted too much.
Yeah.
And they were like, okay, we're seeing these numbers that we want to see, but we're also seeing that they're coming from a lot of times being hosted. Let's find out if you can do it on your own. And he proved that he could, and it was very soon after that he got his partnership. So it worked out really well. But it's kind of like a double-edged sword as well.
It is, yeah. No, yeah, that's... Liz, that's the same, that's the exact criticism I have of the host mode bots, is that you'll have everybody... Like, to the streamers, it's like, yeah, we'll just throw all of our hosts at one person, but to the viewers, it's like, why?
Who do you like?
It's like, come on, show me something new, show me something from you. And like, main menu, we had a very big discussion about this, and I said the exact same thing. I'm like, you know, we want to be able to use host mode to promote people we want to promote, as well as the people on the team. Yeah, Raptor, I play Destiny as well.
Don't get me wrong. I love the Wiggler bot. I do. But it's like, I'll still find, like, Kung Fu will sometimes stream not a team member, and that person's only got 15 minutes to basically try to get people to come to his chat to be more entertaining for him. But he's only got that 15 minutes. But say if she did it in the middle of it, so it's not 5 minutes before it rehosts, that person's got less time and he doesn't know it. Or that person.
Yeah, that's all about how
the bots are set up,
though.
The bot, yeah.
But that's my own issue, is that it just keeps going back to these people. I love them. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah,
but sometimes
it's very smart in the fact that it is promoting their own brand. Like, just as much as, you know, each channel has their own brand, each Twitch team has their own brand to a point, and how they want to express that brand is very important. You know, main menu does it very differently than the Wobblers and the Wigglers do. It's not to say that one is necessarily better than the other, it's just different in how they go about it. They want to constantly be throwing their support behind the other parts of the team, because then that grows the Wobblers as a whole, and so on and so forth.
Yep.
But I do like the idea as well of, hey, these are the people that I individually think are interesting, which is cool. Oh, yeah. That happened, oh man, during the Bungie reveal for the Taken King for, I think it was the one with Mr. Fruit, where they were showing the new strikes.
Yep.
It was rehosting, like, mid-stream, and I was like, well, that's awkward.
Yeah, Wobblerbot broke mid one of T's largest streams before World First happened for him, and the only time I've ever seen him go into sub-only mode.
Really?
It was absolute chaos. I've been in Sam's chat for over a year now, and it's the only time I've ever seen him go into sub-only.
We've gone into sub-only once in Fi-Fi's, and that was during a Mario Maker stream. I don't think he's done it since. I think he did it that one time, and that was it.
You gotta remember, Fi-Fi does not like sub mode at all. It has to take a lot to force him to go into that.
I know a lot of streamers that don't like it, because it's the idea, and I even know Gathalion doesn't like it, because he's like, I don't want there to be a paywall between you as a viewer and me as a streamer.
Mm-hmm.
Which is what people are now worried about with YouTube Red, which I'm still about. The branding choice, like, okay.
Oh god.
And I'm sure that you had a field day when that was announced, Avalon.
We were like, YouTube Turbo? What? Like,
yeah.
Yeah.
And
we had our fun with it, but I think we had like Jen and I are very into J-pop, and
Yeah.
Specific groups in J-pop, and we've held fan events like at like the Times Center in New York City, for these people, and we had what was it, the agency for the groups that we hosted this party for, or in the name of, like they kind of had, they put copyright, or they took content ID on our party video, like the, and now it's not even available in the US because of YouTube Red, because they won't, that we would have to expect them to sign a contract, a Japanese company to sign a contract to allow this stuff to be shown in the US, which would be like a no-brainer for them, but Japanese companies, I love them, but they are very slow to react to this kind of stuff. So now, like, I can't show, fans can't watch, they can't remember their experiences from last year, the way we captured it and streamed it because of YouTube Red. And then there's ESPN, who took all of their stuff off.
Yeah.
Like, ESPN just has a blank channel now. Like, what does that say? How must they felt at the Google office or the YouTube office to see like ESPN just delete everything?
Yeah, they're like, yeah, I'm out.
I wonder if that was ESPN or if that was more like Disney.
That was definitely
just ESPN.
Well, it's like Disney allowed like all their other content to stay on YouTube Red, or they signed that up, but they explicitly did not want sports to be one of those. So that's why ESPN kind of took. That's what I heard though.
Okay.
Yeah, that's just how. I mean, it's like the blackouts for baseball games. It's all kind of the same.
And it's so antiquated now. Like, like that in and of itself is a whole separate topic of conversation. Like, I do not understand blackouts anymore. And in the day and age where people are moving all over and, they have loyalties other places, like, why would you do that? Like, I don't.
Hey, Avalon, can I post a link in your chat?
Yep.
There you go, Skull Candy.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, Fox. Yeah, I mean that's an entire topic that, I mean, it's still almost premature to talk about it because it's only been like, I think, a week. So
yeah, right. And it things are going to evolve from it, and I'm sure that will eventually be its own series of things. But